Hi there, how's it going?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice
My
to
name
meet
is
you.
Jasmine.
Nice to meet you, Jasmine. I'm Alicia.
Hi, Alicia. How are you?
I'm doing well. So what brings you in today?
So I've been just going through like a lot. Recently I found out that my mother was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And so, that really took a toll on me, and I've just been feeling, stressed and a lot of anxiety and juggling that with school and also being like an older sibling and trying to, comfort my younger siblings with going through my own emotions. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. That sounds like a lot to handle. So how long have you kind of been dealing with this as something that's been difficult for you?
So it's been about like 6 months now since my mom found out she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and it's kind of something that's been kind of like abrupt that happened.
Gotcha.
So it was kind of out of nowhere because I don't know if you know much about multiple sclerosis, but it's like genetics, and no one in my family has it. So when we found out she had it, it was kind of like a shocker
Right.
for all of us. So yeah.
How is she handling it?
She's very like she doesn't want to like stress us out, so like she keeps it to herself. So she
Gotcha.
doesn't really say much, or like we don't know how she's feeling or any of her emotions. So
That can
yeah.
be hard because I'm sure you're worried about her.
Yeah.
And if she's not opening up to you, that can definitely be challenging.
Yeah.
So how have you handled stress in the past? Do you feel like you have good ways of coping with your stress?
Usually the problem is I never really like dealt with the stress. I usually just like kind of like keep it in. So I just kind of just roll with the flow and let, day go by day. And sometimes it just compacts on me because I'm used to like just keeping it in. And I just start like, sleeping a lot, or like not doing my work, or just kind of just slacking off from life itself and trying to avoid things, which is probably not the healthiest way to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand why you would do that, but you know, so you do feel like your work, your schoolwork and stuff is being affected.
Yeah.
All right, so that's definitely something we can work on. I'm glad that you're admitting that to me. It's good for me to know. So you would say that your sleep and your eating habits and your schoolwork are being affected by this?
Yeah.
Okay, so how much sleep do you think that you're getting, average?
I would probably get like 5 or 6 hours of sleep.
Okay. Not quite enough.
So at night I don't get as much sleep. I try my best to take a nap here and there, but like even when I go try to take a nap, I can't take a nap because I have so much running thoughts. So it's just hard for me to just fall asleep. Like it takes me a while to fall asleep because I'm just like my mind is just kind of like all over the place. So it's just difficult.
I understand. Yeah. So what are you studying in school?
So right now I'm a social work major. So
Awesome.
kind of want to be doing what you're doing now.
Fabulous. Yeah. Well, that's really good to hear. And what year are you?
I'm a junior.
Okay. So you're getting close to the end.
Yeah,
it's definitely a lot of work though, so I can understand why your stress levels are high. Do you feel like your social life is also being affected by this? Are you getting time to do things you enjoy? Are you getting time with friends?
Yeah. So I definitely feel like my social life has been affected because, like, my friends are starting to call me, like, a grandma. You don't want to go out. You don't want to do anything. And, it's just I don't want to open up to them because I don't want to, like, have this, like, pity of, like, what I'm going through. But I definitely have not been getting out there. I'd just rather be in my room or to myself. And they're definitely seeing that. And so they're like calling me a grandma or saying I'm boring now, or like, so they're starting not to even invite me out anywhere because I haven't like been going to any events that they invite me to. So
definitely dealing with some like isolation.
Yeah.
And your friends I'm sure they mean well, but
Yeah.
that might kind of be adding on to the isolation by kind of saying your grandma and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't sound like they're being too understanding
Yeah.
of what you have going on, so I'm sure that's frustrating. So I just want to check in, how are your grades right now?
My grades are actually not too bad. They can be better. I'm usually I like to get all A's and B's, but right now I have a couple C's, and I'm just not happy with that because I strive to receive good grades, and I really want to maintain my honor status. So I definitely do see my grades slipping because I haven't been passing in my work on time, or I'll do like the bare minimum, which is not me at all. So.
Right. So kind of feeling disappointed in yourself. It's probably causing a little bit more anxiety because you know that you can, and that you could be doing better, and you strive to be doing your best all the time. So I know with me personally, if I'm not doing my best, it also causes me some anxiety and stuff, just because you want to be doing good. But don't feel too bad, because everyone gets overwhelmed, and you can't always be at your best.
Yeah.
But overall, do you feel like you've been having a good school experience, in the past years and stuff like that? Has your time at school been good?
My time at school has been okay. I think definitely because of this happening, it has affected my time. Like before, I found out my mother had multiple sclerosis. I was just, more active on campus and clubs and going to events. But now, since this happened, I'm kind of everything's just kind of going downhill, and my school experience hasn't been the best, unfortunately. So yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I can definitely see that your mom's diagnosis is negatively affecting some aspects of your life. So I want to ask about your living situation. Are you living on campus, or are you a commuter?
I live on campus. I live in Atlantic Hall. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So do you feel comfortable with your current living situation, like with roommates and stuff like that? Do you have roommates?
Yes. So I live in a suite with 6 girls, but in my actual room I just have one other girl. It's okay. It's not too bad because everyone has different schedules, so I don't see everyone all the time. But sometimes, like my roommate, she's very needy. Like, always just like asking to borrow things, or just like always wanting to have conversation. And I don't mind at times, but like when I want to just be to myself, especially with everything I'm going to, it's just annoying. And I'm not trying to like be rude to her, but it's just kind of like I just want my own space, and she doesn't really get those social cues that like I'm just trying to be to myself.
Right. Yeah. Totally, I understand. That could definitely be frustrating, especially on top of everything else. So do you feel like you can kind of reach out to any of your other suite mates about this, or are you close with any of them? Do you feel like you have a support system within, your living situation?
Yeah, I definitely, I'm closer to one of my suite mates, and we talk a lot, and we actually hang out a lot. So maybe I can probably try just letting her know.
Yeah, I feel like reaching out is always a good idea. A lot of people will understand, and they probably have similar stuff going on. You might not know it because a lot of people don't open up. But reaching out to other people is always a good idea, and I'm really happy that you came in to see me today. It's really important. So outside of, your suite mates, do you feel like you have a support system, people you can go to, maybe in your family? You could tell me a bit about your family if you'd like.
So yes, so I am the oldest of 4 siblings. I have, my mom has altogether 4, and then my dad has 3, so I have like a younger brother that's outside of my mom, my mom's kids, and so technically I'm the oldest of 4. So I have 3 brothers and 1 sister. My parents are not together. my mom, so my mom has kind of just been like a single mom, and my dad like remarried. But I'm really close with like my aunts,
Nice.
which is nice. So like whenever I'm going through certain things, I'm able to open up with them, and they're just there for me, and very caring people. So yeah.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's good to hear. So do you feel like you can talk to your mom and your dad, or do they just have a lot of stuff going on in their own lives? Could you tell me a little bit about maybe what they do?
So my dad works for Comcast, and then my mom, she's a nurse. But since her diagnosis, she hasn't actually been working, because just she's just sick so many days. So it's like
So it's affecting her.
so it's her affecting her ability to work,
Mm-hmm.
which makes things even more hard because she has to pay the bills and stuff like that.
Right.
So I think like on top of her diagnosis, just a lot of financial stress.
Yeah, a lot of stuff goes along with that diagnosis,
Yeah. And
So
then,
her symptoms are pretty intense.
yeah,
already.
her symptoms are intense. She goes for treatment once a month with on top of that taking her shots and her medications and stuff like that.
Right.
And then there's days like where she'll feel good, and then there's days where she'll just feel her body just feels weak and it's like taking a toll on her. So.
Sorry to hear that. So, outside of school, are you currently working?
Yeah, I work as a switchboard operator, and I also am a substitute teacher. So like days that there's no classes or I might have a day off, I'll substitute.
Awesome.
And then working the switchboard, and then so yeah.
Good for you. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, that's what I do for work currently.
So do you enjoy that, kind of getting outside of your typical schedule,
Yeah.
getting that experience, substituting?
Yeah, I definitely like the substituting job more because I want to work with kids. So it just gives me that hands-on experience to learn more about kids, and it's just a great experience overall. And I also like my switchboard job because it's just kind of, more of a chill job where I just answering the phone and I have time to do my homework there and stuff like that. And my boss is really cool, so.
Good. And then what do you do kind of just for yourself in your free time? Do you feel like you have hobbies and things that you can kind of go to if you're struggling that might kind of cheer you up a bit?
Yeah, that's the problem. It's just like I haven't really found what I love to do. Like I know I love hanging out with friends and family, but like I just want to be able to find something that makes me happy beyond that, because sometimes I just don't want to deal with them.
Yeah, something that you can do on your own.
Something I can do on my own, exactly. So, yeah, it's what kind of just what I'm struggling with right now.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that personally, and I think a lot of people struggle with finding something that they're passionate about that's, separate from what they're doing for school and for work and stuff. But finding a hobby can be a really, really good way to kind of get to know yourself better and to also cope with stress. So maybe that's something we can talk about next time we meet.
Yeah.
And is there any medical conditions or concerns of your own that you feel like I should know?
I don't have any medical conditions right now. I'm just really just concerned about my mom's health.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just like sometimes I get scared to read up on it, even though I probably should know more about it just to help her, but I'm scared of what's gonna come up, what is it gonna say. So yeah.
Okay. So do you feel like you ever use alcohol or drugs in a way that might be concerning?
No, I don't really do any types of drugs or smoke or anything. Alcohol, only time I drink alcohol is from, going out to the club with a friend or something like that, but I'm not, for the most part, I don't really drink or smoke to like cope with anything.
Okay, that's good.
So yeah.
Good. So we talked earlier about coping mechanisms, and you said you don't really feel that you have positive coping mechanisms at all.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that we can talk about next time. Is there anything else that you want to share with me at all?
Do you have any experience of working with any clients that have multiple sclerosis?
Not personally right now. I'm fairly new in the field, but I'm very open to learning more about how that can impact people's lives.
Yeah.
And I'm certainly willing to invest extra time in finding out more about multiple sclerosis so that I can kind of figure out the best way to work with you and help you and get your needs met.
Yeah.
Because I understand that is a very, very difficult disease to cope with.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand why, your stress levels are high right now.
Yeah.
And I did just want to talk to you a little bit about confidentiality, because I don't want you to be worried that anything that we say, when we're meeting will get out to anyone else. I want you to feel confident and comfortable being able to talk to me.
Yeah, definitely.
So, did you have any questions?
My next question is is there anyone that's going to be, I know you're taking notes and stuff, is there anyone that's going to be looking at the notes, or it's just you?
So I do have a team of other counselors that I work with here, and we do share a little bit of our notes, but our notes are very brief, so I don't write anything super personal or in detail. My notes are more so just as something that I can reference, just so that I'm being sure that I stay on top of everything that we talk about, and I do have a lot of things going on in my life and with other clients, and I just want to make sure that I'm on track and I'm fully understanding everything that you're telling me.
Yeah.
And so that's why I take notes, and you actually can access your notes whenever you'd like to.
Okay, so I can just come over and just see what you're writing, and it'll be okay.
Yeah, absolutely. You can just ask anytime.
Okay, that makes me just feel a little comfortable.
Yeah. I know it can be a little bit weird to get used to.
Yeah, definitely.
So and then I did want to let you know, Okay. All right. Sorry about that. So, is there anything else that you wanted me to know?
I was just wanting to know, how I can possibly sleep better. If you have any, advice on that.
Okay. Well, I think, personally what I like to do is, I do different types of meditations, and there's actually a lot of really helpful videos on YouTube that you can use. So I think just mainly, I'm sure that there's just a lot going on in your head, so there's a lot that you're thinking about. So when you go to lay down, it's hard to kind of shut that off. And I find that meditations really do help. They help a lot of my clients, so I think that's something you should try to do. Maybe you could try that tonight.
Yeah, definitely try. I would try some type of meditation. I know a friend of mine's she basically does has an app, and it kind of plays a song or something like that, and she kind of helps her fall asleep. And I also have another friend, she takes melatonin, but I don't know if that...
Yeah, melatonin can be helpful. Yeah, you can just get the supplements at the store, and I would recommend you only really should take one, especially at first. But I've taken melatonin in the past, and I find that it does help.
Yeah.
So yeah, if that's something you feel comfortable with, then I would say go ahead and try it, because sleep's very important, and I'm sure that as much as the emotional issues are affecting you right now, adding on sleep deprivation doesn't help, so that would be good. And do you think that I covered confidentiality well? Is there any other questions that you had?
I think you covered it all really well. I just wanted to know if I can look at my notes and just make sure not everyone's seeing it, but you you explained it and I feel comfortable. And
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
did want to just let you know the two other situations in which that I would have to share information that we've discussed. So that would be if for whatever reason I got subpoenaed for a court case.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the other situation. And then if you expressed that you wanted to harm yourself or others. So just those 3 times, if I'm sharing with clients, which would be for your benefit if you were reaching out for help.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know that now, so if you do call, that's going to be the type of situation. They'll just look at the notes and they'll be looking at the notes for your benefit, just to be able to help you and talk to you, because you don't want a complete stranger that doesn't know what's going on, in your life to be giving you advice, I'm sure. So
Yeah.
everyone's different. So
Yeah.
kind of just getting a little bit of your background so that they can be understanding and help you as best as they can.
Yeah.
So yeah, just those 3, and I'm sure you understand. So we don't want you harming yourself or others. So
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
I think that's all I kind of really had any for questions right now, at least.
Okay.
Definitely, if anything comes up, I'll schedule another appointment or something.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that this went well for you, and I hope you feel comfortable with me. If you feel that it's a good fit, you're welcome to come in anytime and make an appointment.
Yeah, I definitely will make an appointment.
Yeah, don't be afraid to reach out.
Yeah, thank you so much
Absolutely.
for your help today. I really enjoyed speaking to you.
Yeah, it was very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Have a great day.
Thank you, honey. You too.